Welcome to match day 4 of the UEFA Euro 2024. Welcome to the ISB podcast. I'm your host, Sahil. Here with Rahi. We have finally found Rahi. He's been gallivanting to Europe and he landed in Paris, France for the France game. How appropriate.
That is correct. I am here. You found me. I'm finally here. Been over Europe a little bit, and I'm excited to be here. I'm in Germany shortly, so
Yeah.
stay tuned.
Heading to Germany very shortly. Let's start with a country that is somewhat close to Germany, Belgium. And Belgium today, we thought, okay, they were going to get the victory, and so much to discuss in this particular match, you know. But I think the term handle is appropriate because, of course, the tying goal that could have gone to Belgium that would have evened things out was disallowed for being a handball.
Two potential tying goals, and guess who scored both of them? Mr. Romelu Lukaku. Shades of Croatia, Belgium in the World Cup, where he just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Where there's Belgium, there's drama. What a dramatic, strange, weird game. And in the end, Slovakia did enough to win. And Belgium, to be honest, didn't do enough. Unlucky, but they didn't do enough.
For those out there who are not that familiar with Romelu Lukaku, he might be one of the most polarizing figures in world football, and he might be one of the most unlucky figures in world football. I can't think of another player that has missed so many opportunities, but then also had such bad luck in this particular match with 2 goals disallowed, and yet he still is Belgium's record highest goal scorer. So all the stuff that's fallen his way, he still managed to score. It just wasn't to be today.
It wasn't to be, and let's give some real credit to Slovakia, who defended incredibly well. You've talked a lot about how defenses have been absent in this tournament. Today, we had great defending in all the games. Slovakia, impressive, opportunistic, taking advantage of the mistake, trapping Doku in the back. Well planned, well executed, well played, you have to say, for Slovakia.
And we did the preview video. You remember, correspondent Sean on there was talking about how the Belgium team is never away from the drama. And even in this match, as soon as things started going badly, you saw exactly what happened. Players pointing at each other, yelling at each other. It's strange.
It happens. It happens. And what about the appearance of the snickometer? The first time we've seen that at use in a major tournament, effectively a device used to measure if the ball hit the hand. That's something we've seen from cricket that now is in. And honestly, I didn't really understand. It was a bit confusing to me.
I didn't understand that stickometer usage either. It seemed like his hand, I don't know. It was weird. It was
It
strange. It
seemed
seemed
like the
like
thing came after it touched his hand, right?
Yeah, it seemed like the spike in the snickometer was happening before it even touches his hand. So I don't think they've perfected that. They should ask the people at the T20 World Cup currently how to use that technology more properly. But um, so look, I think frankly, this was a disastrous result. We'll get to for Belgium, and we'll get to it in a second why. But it was odd because they brought in Openda. They Doku, who's so effective for City, was not didn't really do a lot and dribbled into traffic. And yeah, you got to give Slovakia credit. They defended extremely well. You're right. And Martin Dubravka had a great game.
Dubravka had an incredible game. I thought they defended for their lives. The amount of blocks they put in the end, I just don't think Belgium created enough opportunities, right? The 2 goals, the 2 disallowed goals were really their key chances. And Doku, for all his bluster, really didn't do a lot when in advanced positions. De Bruyne was strangely quiet, wouldn't you say, today?
Yeah, 100%. I didn't hear much from De Bruyne. He had that one shot at the end of the match, but besides that, nothing much. And it's so strange because every time we see this team, we're thinking, okay, this is going to be the time where we're really going to see Belgium excel, and then it always turns into some level of this, like excluding maybe that Brazil game in the World Cup and the comeback against Japan. There's always moments of this where you're like, what exactly is happening? But yeah.
Yeah, and what they did well, Slovakia, they sat back a little bit and they counterattacked the counterattackers, right? When you can't counterattack, which is what Belgium does well, when you have men behind the ball, then those players like Doku, who one-on-one are incredible. When there's 3 guys you have to take on, it's difficult.
Yeah, 100% difficult. And the reason this is going to be a difficult result for Belgium is because what happened in the other match. And, English is my first language. So viewers out there are probably like, this guy doesn't know how to speak English, because I know man's on a mission is not correct English, but there's a reason, Rahi, why this is mentioned for Romania.
There is a certain individual who is able to come up with a big goal, but I think we have to say in general, the reason Belgium should be worried is because may have just found the team of the tournament, the discovery of the tournament. What an incredible Romanian performance! A team that in 1994, we remember watching them in that tournament, coming to the U.S., dismantling Colombia, then Argentina. This performance had shades of that Romania team, so incredible in the way they pressed, the intensity, the ferocity with which they played, and then the technical ability. The goals they scored were all incredible. All great finishes, great goals. Two big players. I know who you have here in the title, but I think we have to say Dragusin and Dragus, both incredible games on both ends of the pitch.
I mean, there was tons and tons of people out there who had heroic games for Romania. Greg, you mentioned Dragoshin. There was, of course, Stanciu who had the goal. But I want to mention Dennis Mann, and that's the reason I have put Mann on there because Dennis Mann had a fantastic match, and
Mm.
this is was a man on a mission, frankly. And the whole team, like you said, they didn't score goals today. They scored golazos. They scored golazos. And that goalie in the other end is, of course, Andre Lunin, who, of course, is the Real Madrid goalie. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's no scrub. People were saying, okay, he made a little bit of a mistake on the second goal. Regardless, that thing was flying.
And the first goal. I mean, honestly, he didn't have a good game, and he did make two mistakes, I think.
He may have made mistakes, but those balls were coming in at fast speeds, and those were not those were very very well hit balls. So yes, maybe on his A day he saves it, but I'll tell you what, like those deserved goals.
No, they did, 100%. It's funny because you texted me after watching the game, Dennis. And when you said Dennis, my goodness, I actually thought you meant Dennis Dragus because I thought he was incredible the whole game. But you meant Dennis Mann. So, I mean, there's so many players that performed so incredibly for this Romanian team. And I think it really was the intensity with which they played. We
Yeah,
waited the whole tournament for a defensive masterclass, a team that really played like their lives depended on it. And this team did that. This is what this tournament's about, a team of players mostly playing domestically, mostly players we don't know.
yeah.
Incredible unity, incredible spirit, and the plan was so good. This is a dangerous team to play, and I wouldn't wanna be Belgium having to go up against them next after losing.
Yeah, because Belgium's going to need something from this match, and these guys are going to play with the same level of intensity, and they really have nothing to lose. Now that they already got the 3 points in this match against Belgium, so good luck because this is a force to be reckoned with. All you Romanian fans out there, let's hear you in the comments. I'd love to hear what you all think. We actually did, believe it or not, we supported the 1994 Romanian team after we saw Georgi Hagi play, and I think maybe onto something here as well.
Yeah, Giannis Hadji was the one on the mic at the end of the game, celebrating with the fans, so, big day, big day for Romania.
Okay, finishing it off on the day, Rahi, of course, is in Paris. So, Rahi, I'll just turn it over to you now at this point in time. What were the scenes like in Paris tonight, and what was the impressions that the French fans had at this match? It was a very uh, tightly fought contest, and it was very rough, in my opinion. At times it seemed more like a UFC fight.
It was very rough. It was very rough. I'll give you the translation of what I heard at the end of the game, walking out of the bar. Quel match de merde, which you might know what that means. Effectively, it means it wasn't a very good match, which it wasn't. And it wasn't a good performance from France. There was some real frustration about the performance. I think there was excitement soon. There's excitement about this team. There always is because of the players they have, because of the way they performed in major tournaments, but it wasn't a good performance. And I think they acknowledged that the French fans were not happy with what happened. And there were a couple of players I think who were reacted to positively. That's the return of N'Golo Kante. I think Kante was very good,
Very good.
mopping up all the mistakes. And you saw the appreciation from everyone here, understanding his importance, his role. I think a guy who took the brunt of some of the criticism was Dembele, who constantly was getting into interesting positions but not doing a lot with the ball. So that was a little bit disappointing performance from him. Mbappe with the big miss chance that I think he normally puts away. A bit strange for him to miss a one-on-one like that. In the end, it was really a tepid performance from the French. I think they were survive. They were surviving in many ways. They were doing what they always do in these tournaments, which is not play very well early on. And the Austrians were fine. The Austrians had their chances. There was a penalty shout on Sabitzer that I thought honestly was tight. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they didn't go to the VAR for that. But in the end, I don't think the French fans are concerned so much as they were frustrated.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about the Austria team is they remind me, and I know this Ralph Ragnick has a specific pressing style, right?
Mm,
I personally am not the biggest fan, me personally, of this particular
yeah,
style of football, but I understand why people like it. It reminds me a little bit of some of the way that Germany used to play,
yeah.
way back when, right? Like a little bit of that, but
Yeah, I mean,
it creates the matches a little bit like this. I feel like,
it keeps them close, right? And
yeah,
they're able to stay close. And you saw a couple chances here and there. Austria could have come out of here with the draw, which would have been a huge result for them.
yeah,
And they were able to mostly neutralize the French as much as you can, right? France still created chances, but they kind of took the sting out of the game with the way that they pressed, I think. And ultimately that's what you want if you're Austria.
yeah. No, I think Austria's game plan was great. It's just there wasn't a lot of clear chances for Austria in this match, and of course France on this particular day missed some sitters. I mean, Mbappe one on one, that you've got to think that he scores 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, normally he does. He hasn't had a great season by his standards. He's been a little quiet in many ways since the World Cup. So you may be a little worried about when is he going to light it up. And then he had the nose injury towards the end. So let's see. Let's see how things go for him. But I think he's yet to have really sparkled. And maybe that's a concern for France. Where there isn't a concern, I would say, is defensively. I thought they defended well, and that's what they always do, right? In the end, look at the possessions 50-50, right?
Yeah,
France is very comfortable giving the ball to whoever the opponent is. And Deschamps has got them playing in a way where I think they don't need the ball. They
yeah,
understand where their strengths are. And ultimately, even though they don't look dangerous, even though they don't look incredible, they find themselves in the finals of big tournaments, right? This is what they do. The group
yeah.
stages, when has France been impressive in the group stages of late?
Yeah, almost never. And so at the end of the day, a little bit unfortunate for Austria to allow a goal like that. Um, it's given how many missed chances that France had in the match. On another day maybe they get one of those, but overall, look, France had victory. So the streets of Paris were not celebratory. It sounds like.
Not jubilant, no, I don't think they were jubilant. I think they realized the opponent that they should have won by more, and so ultimately it's just, eh, not the best day at the office.
Yeah. Would you say overall this has been the best day of the tournament so far in terms of the matches overall?
Yeah, it has to be, I think, because we have the first major upset of the tournament, Slovakia. That's a huge upset, and no
Yeah.
one would have expected that.
Yeah.
And then I think the Romania game gave us so much to love about the game, reminders of why this tournament's so fun and why maybe the expanded field is also fun to have. Romania probably would have qualified regardless. They won their group in qualifiers, but I think it's nice to see nations like that perform the way they did when players that are not household names, but the collective spirit, the unity, the plan, the playing for the country, all of that shown through today. I think the best day so far.
Yeah, 100%. So if you all out there enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Euro 2024 is started in earnest now. We're about to finish the first round of matches. Of course, Portugal playing tomorrow, and then that'll wrap up the first round. Not to mention, there's other teams in that group: Turkey, Czechia, and of course the debutantes Georgia. For those people
Yeah.
excited to see that, but yeah, exciting stuff. We'll end there. See you all next time. Rahi, what's been the highlight of your time in Paris? And we'll finish there.
Well, I just want to show you what I'm eating now because it's a Austrian French mix here, Viennois. So it's it's a Austrian baker who came to France a long time ago, and that's been adopted by the French now. So there you go, unity at the end of it all.